of a king, clothed in majesty.
Hey, I'm Michael Whitesides, member of Bethlehem since early in '71, and God's done so many things. But now I stand in the middle of an Airbus A320 where January 15, 2009, my life changed forever. God did a true miracle that day. I was a passenger, seat 10B, and I stand right here where God's true miracle took place. Will you join me as I tell my story? Now we're standing outside the plane that I just spoke about, and just want to point out real quick some of the damage that took place that day. Underneath the plane was damaged. Down at the far end you'll see the door I came out of and also the wing that I walked down that day. A true miracle in itself. But I started off that day in Buffalo, New York, and I was trying to get home that night as my son had a special Scouts event, so I was determined to get home. And I can remember flying into LaGuardia. It was a beautiful day. It was cold nonetheless, but it was a beautiful day. And all the passengers around us that day got to, meet some new people. And I remember taking off that beautiful sunny day and looking outside. And as we're taking off and ascending, I was one of the few that witnessed one of the birds in the flock out there. And I witnessed it go into the left engine and then all of a sudden implode and blow up. And I'm thinking, oh wow, this can't be good. And my new friend beside me, she said about the same thing. And then we started to take a left-hand turn, and I figured that we could land on one engine. At that time, I looked and saw the Hudson River, and I knew right then I was in trouble. And then one thing led to another. Inside the cabin, you heard some calling their loved ones saying, honey, I love you one last time. I had that same thought, and I reached down and I grabbed my cell phone. And I had my wife's number in hand, and I was about to hit the send button. And then all of a sudden, the peace came over me as if God himself spoke and said, hey, don't do it. Put the phone down. And I did just that. I threw the phone down. And then I got ready to experience the next big event. And that is a 169,000-pound plane hitting the water in New York City. And we hit and we bounced back and forth, and I knew I was okay. And then my new friend beside me, she and I, we both jumped up, and I remember taking the door off and running out of the wing right after her. And I realized that she was in the water, so I grabbed her seat cushion of mine and go in behind her. And one thing led to another. I make it to the front raft, and I get picked up by an ex-Marine, a guy that works at Bank of America. And I remember just saying, hey, thank you, Jesus. And a lot of events that happened that day, and I remember one unique moment in my life I'll never forget. It's as we were at the hotel that day, and I was walking by a New York policeman. He looked at me and said, boy, I bet you couldn't prepare for that day. And I kept walking, and as I was stopped right in my moment, as if God spoke to me and said, Michael, I did prepare you. Because that journey started Monday morning when I was with a group of guys, and I was challenged to go deep that week. And I was learning about Abraham, learning about fear, and then led up to that Wednesday and Thursday morning of, it said, hey, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of the wisdom. And that word fear stuck in my mind so much as I was going down that God, he did prepare me. So that day, January 15th, 2009, I really felt and experienced what it was like to be in a true miracle of God. So I hope that you would embrace and be challenged by this and understand that God still does miracles today, and that on your journey in life that you'll experience God in no other way and know that miracles still do exist. Good luck and God bless you.
Great is our God. Sing with me, how great